Hi there and welcome to another Car Cleaning Guru video. Here I return to this 2011 600 brake horsepower Nissan GTR I'd filmed myself washing and drying earlier on in the year, this time to give its leather and alcantara interior a once over. And although it wasn't anywhere near as dirty as the exterior was in the previous video, I still thought it was worth going back to grab some interior cleaning shots despite the blustery weather. Aside from the irritating loose debris blowing in from the nearby shedding trees, there wasn't a great deal of dirt to contend with, and so a thorough vacuum, dust off and wipe down to remove the odd unsightly smear tainting the Jap interior was the simple order of the day. The GTR badged floor mats were first removed and placed out of harm's way, while the seats were pulled forward to provide access to the rear, as I always work from back to front when cleaning the inside of a car. Before George was awoken to give the recessed boot a thorough vacuum prior to the cabin. Because the boot is so deep, I had to ensure I kept the hose well away from the GTR's soft exterior paintwork to prevent any costly scratches from being inflicted. A soft brush attachment was then used to vacuum off the rear seats and centre console. While a crevice tool was employed to extract loose debris from the carpets of the car. As well as the alcantara sections of the two front seats. The dash, switchgear, and various vents were also taken care of with the brush to remove any dust prior to wiping down. Before the leather areas of the front seats were additionally covered. along with the chunky door cards, for which a combination of the brush and crevice tool along with a small detailing brush we use to access all areas. Once all interior surfaces had been vacuumed off, the floor mats were given a good going over prior to being replaced. First they were vacuumed to remove the loose debris. Before being spritzed over with a diluted upholstery cleaner and agitated with a stiff bristled interior brush to activate the product and rejuvenate the pile. The protruding GTR details were then attended to using an all-purpose cleaner along with a soft bristled brush to help lift out any ingrained dirt. Prior to a final thorough vacuum to remove the damp product residue and encapsulated dirt. With the first round of vacuuming now complete, it was time to thoroughly wipe down the GTR's interior surfaces to remove any smears, fingerprints and other light dirt, as well as restore their finish and keep them protected from heavier soiling until the next maintenance clean. And for this I went with an all-in-one water-based light cleaner dressing that can be safely used on all interior finishes. It was simply sprayed directly onto the surface before being thoroughly worked in with both a clean dry microfiber towel and soft bristled detailing brush, buffing over until a desired lustre was achieved. The benefit of using a simple all-in-one product like this for basic maintenance jobs is that you don't have to worry about cross-contamination of the interior surfaces, and so save some time as you're not constantly having to switch to different products for different areas, instead attending to them all in a single step. And because the dressing is water based, as it dries on the surface the initial gloss subsides somewhat to leave more of a factory finish, although if it's still a little too glossy for your liking, as looking back it perhaps was here on the leather seats, you can simply dilute it down or rebuff over the area with another dry towel to give it more of a matte finish, which also of course means that the product will go a little further. On certain areas that I wanted to avoid overspray of the dressing, I applied it directly onto the towel or detailing brush head before spreading it over the surface, and this would generally be the recommended practice. However, when you know your product well and the conditions are suitable, you can confidently spray directly onto the surface where appropriate. A soft detailing brush is a must when dressing interiors, as it allows products like these to be thoroughly worked into all of the various details, yet you must also ensure that you follow up with a microfiber towel to remove the excess, of which there will inevitably be some, to give that nice uniform finish. The door cards were again attended to last, the main reason for this being to try and prevent contaminants in the blustery air from settling on the fresh dressing before it had a chance to dry, which would likely occur if they were done first and then left open while the rest of the interior was attended to. With the light cleaning and dressing done, it was onto the windows and glass to remove any product overspray and contamination from where it had been applied to the surrounding trim, as well as any other unsightly blemishes. It was lightly sprayed directly onto the surface of the glass before being thoroughly wiped over with a lint-free glass cleaning cloth until a smear-free finish was achieved. The LCD touchscreen as well as the plastic gauge fascia were also gently wiped over with the glass cleaner and cloth to lift off the greasy fingerprints that inflicted them, being careful to apply only fingertip pressure to minimise the likelihood of scratches and swirls being inflicted on these delicate areas. As well as any other clear or polished parts being touched up to ensure they were spotless. And because it was such a blustery day, before capturing any aftershots I had to go around with the vacuum cleaner one last time, playing an almost futile game of catch up with the numerous bits and bobs that have been continuously blowing in the entire time. So despite the interior of this GTR really not being too messy to begin with, it now looked at least a little smarter thanks to the basic maintenance clean, which provided the means to get some fresh footage which will hopefully complement my earlier exterior cleaning video. And while it would have been nice to have transformed the interior of a super grubby GTR, or even gone a little further with this one, deep cleaning its leather and alcantara for example, sometimes a simple spruce up with a few basic tools and products is all that's required to get a car looking good again, as was the case with this 4-year-old Batmobile. As always, thanks for watching, even though it was only a quickie. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any new uploads, and I'll catch you all again shortly.